Hey, it is time for what Larry Perry promised us, and that is the Pool Fanatic Show. Right here as we continue to ask the experts all weekend long on News 96.5 WDBO. We've got those phone lines open just for you at 844-220-0965. That's 844-220-0965. Or you can text us at 21232-21232. Tony is here right now, and I know you've been busy this last week because here we go, December, last minute. Tony, I need heat. Tony, I need a new pool pump. Tony, I want to save on my power. Tony, I want you to come out and look at this thing in my backyard, which, I just bought this house and there's something back here they used to have as a pool. Nope, I want you to come in here and make me a real pool, or at least get this one to clear up. So there's a million things you're calling Tony about, and here he is, Tony Caruso.
Rob, who is watching the children today, Rob?
I don't know. I'll tell you what, these parents, and you ought to have to get a license. I never thought I'd say that. I'm telling you right now, some of these people, I go in again. I'm in a restaurant the other night. It's a family restaurant. But in our day, now I sound like an old man, would you have ever, or your parents have ever allowed you to scream, I mean at the top of your lungs, for 35 minutes?
Not happening.
I'm telling you right now, you talk about irresponsible parents. Take the youngster outside. Give them some hugs. Give them some love.
Sure.
Give them some milk.
Sure.
But don't disturb everybody else's evening by being an illiterate idiot.
Well, why would the child be crying? So what you want to do, you want to figure out what's causing the problem. But most kids just don't cry because they want to.
Something wrong.
Sure. Address it. Do not take away the enjoyment of the guests around you because you have a child that needs to be attended to. Mm-hmm. Good, bad, or indifferent, handle it. Have the respect. Do what you need to do. You would be amazed. I saw a really nice post. I don't do a lot of Facebook, but a really nice post about a son that took his father to a restaurant, and he was up in age, and we spilled some stuff on him and made a little bit of a mess, and people were looking, man, this guy's. Why is he even in here? But anyhow, he needed some help. Son took the dad out to have a good evening, and people were thinking this old man's a pig. So the son gets up, takes his dad out, takes him in the restroom, gets him all cleaned up, brings him back out, and sits down. And people were in awe that the man still came back down and sat at the table. So when he got to leave, another man walked over and started clapping and said, you know what, if more people were like you to have the compassion to take care of other people, whether they're having a hard time or not, and to still hold face, that gives a lot for it gives a lot for the people who put the effort into respecting everything that everybody has or has not the ability to do without disrespect. And I think it's pretty heartwarming to see that, where, you give back. I mean, your parents and your relatives give all. We all give our all, the best that we can. And the ones who don't need a little help, ask. You'd be surprised what happens when you ask. I mean, we just got so much going on in today's society, this crazy stuff out in California and Paris. We just had this conversation about it. I am for the Second Amendment. You are not taking my guns away from me. And if we have to arm ourselves to protect ourselves from the bad, then that's what we need to do. But, we still go back to not being complacent in this country, Rob, and our government has to change. And I really pray that this election year, it changes to be for the better. We instill a lot of Americanism back. Rob, I will bleed red, white, and blue all day long. I will not sell products that aren't made in America. I just won't. And the reason is because why can't we keep America moving forward? My good friends in Hayward, for instance, everything we buy from them, with the exception of one item, and it's made in Germany. And they're an ally of ours.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And they're not entitlement people. That I buy that because they are red, white, and blue. And I give back to the American worker. And why can't we put more American workers back to work doing the things that Americans like to do? I hate to say a war has to bring this in. A war does not have to bring more work back to America. We just have to make sure that our importing doesn't exceed our exporting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so let's go back to buying American-made products. I love it. I'm always going to be red, white, and blue, Rob. That's the way I am. If I get a little cut on me, it's red, and my face might turn a little white or a little blue, but I'm still red, white, and blue. But what a week, Rob. I'm telling you, man. I went out and looked at a project, and it was nothing but a Band-Aid on, let's see here, it was a Band-Aid on a Band-Aid, then 2 more Band-Aids, and then wrapped in an ace bandage.
Tony.
And so I go out and look at this job. It was down in the south end of town, and it started as a swimming pool only, with an in-floor cleaning system only, chlorinator, and a screen enclosure. Pretty basic.
Yeah.
Then someone comes in here, and they add a heat pump to the system, okay? Now, they're wondering why the floor system no longer works, and the system's not doing what it's supposed to. And the reason it's not working is they just added another storage worth of resistance into the system, so that pump has to be able to overcome the resistance in the system to allow the floor system to work correctly. So whomever put that heat pump on the system should have looked at increasing the pump size to carry the distance, the existing resistance back over to let the system run. And here's another part. They come back and they added solar to it. So now I have a pump, a filter, a heat pump, solar system going back into a floor system. So what's the service guy do? Comes out, puts a bigger pump on. Doesn't solve the problem. Says, you know what? I know what'll fix the problem. I'll put a bigger impeller on the pump. Well, that didn't do anything. All putting a bigger impeller on a smaller pump is nothing. Burns the motor up. Then you burn the motor up. Once you burn the motor up, and then you're back into replacing. So I go out there, and it's nothing but, I should have brought the pictures in. Oh, my gosh. You know, it's just a hodgepodge of piping that makes no sense. So now we're trying to shove this pump water through a filter, which isn't large enough, through a heat pump that has no bypass on it. So I'm trying to shove all through the heat pump. Then I'm trying to send it up the roof. Then I'm trying to come down off the roof into the floor system and wonder why the system don't work. So solution is, well, we're going to cut all the pipe off, flush with the floor, and start over. And what it's going to take is it's going to take a masterpiece in piping to put this back together, but I have the perfect person that can do this. I mean, perfect person that can take this cluster of just a cluster of piping that makes no rhyme or reason. And we can clean that up. I can make it a masterpiece. And here's what's amazing. I guarantee it to perform better than it did when it was put in originally. Whoa. Not only am I going to guarantee that, I am going to save this customer money on operating cost.
Excellent.
Operating cost. So
I imagine that pump is just...
So my lineup would be to put in a 2.7 horsepower variable speed. It'll be an 8-speed because it's going to be no controller.
Right.
And then I've got to be able to put a filter in that's going to carry that volume of water. Now, I'm not looking at carrying a lot more water, Rob. What I've got to do is overcome the resistance. I got to unhook the parachute off the back of the truck, okay?
Yeah.
I've got to let this thing flow. Higher volume under higher resistance will let me do what I need to do. So we're going to put in a Hayward 2.7 horsepower variable speed. It'll be 8 speeds, uncontrolled. It'll also have a 40-30 high-capacity filter. I can carry up to 150 gallons of water through this filter. Homeowner's going to love it because he only has to clean it about 3 or 4 times a year. Wow. Then we're going to go into the heat pump and build a bypass valve. So now I'm not going to try to shove 80 or 90 gallons of water through this heat pump that the original pump does. We're going to get 45 gallons in there, so we're going to have more contact time across the exchanger. It's going to heat more efficiently.
Right.
Then... we're going to back it up. We're going to go through the solar system, then we're going to go through the heat pump, and then we're going to go back into the pool via a Hayward Aquarite salt generator and a Hayward pH sense and dispense. And then we're going to top that off with a new 17-color Hayward Color Logic pool light. So
crazy.
Yeah, so, putting this back together, I know it's a shell shock when you first see the proposal, but when you see what it can do and the immediate payback, day one, the power bill is going to come down related to this pool pump.
Nice.
And I can take something that has been badgered and butchered, and I don't know, man. It's like Larry, somebody taking something into his shop that they put their hands on, like me, and turn things around the way they're not supposed to be. I hope Larry's laughing about that, turning things around a little bit. But when you're all said and done, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. So here's my comment: if you do not understand hydraulics for swimming pools, leave the stuff alone. Do not put your fingers on something you're uneducated to deal with. And that goes back to pool service as well. Do not take care of swimming pools if you don't understand not only chemistry, Rob, you have to understand finishes. You have to understand pumps, filters, chlorinators, sanitizers, how to take care of them. 407-282-4911. Please visit us at OrlandoLuxuryPools.com. Like us on Facebook. That's TC Water Features, where amazing things can happen in your backyard.
Just imagine how many of you may have bought a home and that pool is just in that same sort of a situation and you don't even know it. There you go. That should be part of your inspection process. I'd call Tony before I bought anything with a swimming pool. Here it is at 5:18. We're taking your calls at 844. That is 220-0965. We'll be back. We'll take your text, too, at 21232. It's Tony Caruso, the Pool Fanatic, right here on News 96.5. Well, there you go. Merry Christmas, everybody. And we're taking your calls at 844-220-0965. That's 844-220-0965. And doing the right thing right now is David in Orlando. David, you're live with the Pool Fanatic. That's right, Tony Caruso, Orlando Luxury Pools, TC Water Features, and the Pool Fanatic Pool Service Company. Go right ahead.
Hello, David.
Hey, I'm looking to automate my pool setup.
Okay.
I'm looking at either the Hayward ProLogic PLPS 4,
Okay.
or I'm looking at the new OmniLogic.
Okay.
I haven't really decided. Do you know what the pros and cons are between the two?
Well, I do, actually. In the PLPS series, you can get, if you're doing a PLPS 4, you obviously have a pool and spa. Is that correct?
Actually, no.
Okay. Well, you can just get a PL4, and that just does a swimming pool only. David, do you have any features, any fountains, waterfalls, heaters, heat pumps, solar? Is it pretty much
solar. I got a dual speed pump.
Okay.
Which it's a dumb pump. You just power one speed or you power the other speed. But
okay. Is it actually a 2-speed, though? Is it actually a 2-speed? Because if it is, your PL will do dual speed. It'll do your solar. It'll do a heat pump. On your solar, is your solar manual or electric? Do you have the electric motor for it that automatically turns it on and turns it off, or do you manually turn your solar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm adding a salt system salt to it also.
You're perfect. You only need to go with the PL4. Now, if you want to go, the thing about the ProLogic PL4, you can monitor that with Aqua Connect. That's a wireless that's a wireless router is what it is, and allows you to keep real-time information on your swimming pool. Gives you the app on your phone. It's free monitoring once you buy the router. Now, if you buy OmniLogic, that's really for systems that are a little bit greater in technology, meaning that you've got water features, you got multiple actuator valves. You got possibly multiple lighting sources. You got a spa with a blower. Now, that's Wi-Fi based. You don't have to buy a router for that. Once you buy the Wi-Fi, which is adaptable, it's free monitoring. And I have OmniLogic. I've been using OmniLogic now for about 2 years. I had it about 6 months before it went on the market. And we've had amazing success with it. Now, cool thing about OmniLogic and ProLogic, if you take care of your own swimming pool, are you married? Yes. If you take care of your own pool and you're married, your girlfriend, you can have the same. She can have the same app too. So a lot of times the guys aren't the pool guys; it's the wives or the girlfriends of the pool guys, and they take care of the pool. That would also send them notifications of what's going on, allowing you to know what your pool's doing, while you're away. And also on the PL system, you can do salt, and again, you can do salt and pH as well. So, David,
It does the sense and dispense also?
It does the sense and dispense as well. That's correct. And the cool thing about, are you familiar with sense and dispense? You know what all sense and dispense does?
Vaguely.
Okay, what two things control chemistry in your pool? My friend Rob over here knows the first thing that controls
Mother Nature.
That's right, temperature,
There you go.
which we don't control, and the second one is pH. David, do you have any blemishes in your pool finishes? Any spots here and there, and maybe don't look consistent? What happens is
No.
Okay.
I just had it refinished with the Pebble Tech.
Yep. So you really want to protect it now, because if the finish is less than 6 months old, that first 30 days it's going through a lot of changes, pH up and down bounce, as you want to be able to keep that pHing in check. So the cool thing about Sense and Dispense is, if you were to personally adjust your pH in your pool once a week, or happen to slip a week and it goes to every 2 weeks, the Sense and Dispense does it moment by moment on demand. And you're going to find out that your pool finish is going to be happier. Your water chemistry is going to be in balance, because if your pH is not in balance, everything else kind of bounces. What do you think of that? You gonna order one online, or are you gonna have someone come install it for you?
Oh, I was going to order it online and install it myself.
Okay, so and that's perfectly fine. But do remember one thing: only comes with a 1-year warranty. Only comes with a 1-year warranty. Now, if something goes bad on that, let's say a cell goes down, very rare, you have to unwire it and send it back, and they'll send you another one. Same with your control panel. Hayward does provide you for that first year warranty work on that, and you don't have to touch anything. So if something goes wrong with it, they'll come out and take it and service it for you. But if you have
a better warranty if someone else installs it?
We offer 3 years full parts and labor warranty.
Oh.
Yeah, and if something goes down, it's addressed within 48 hours. So, and then right now we're actually doing things the next day. So, it's David, if you're fully qualified of putting that in and wiring it up, go for it. But if you're looking for the warranty in the background, I can tell you right now that if I offered you a 3-year parts and labor warranty, my good friends at Hayward are probably listening over there. I usually can get you a little bit more than 3 years out of it. So, excuse me.
It's happened.
And, you just don't get that when you do an online buyer, but the product's basically the same. The cells can be different. You got to watch that now, because they do make an aftermarket cell. And if you do buy an Aquarite, you will not be getting an aftermarket cell. You want to watch those aftermarket cells. Same thing, 6 months to a year maximum, but they don't give you much more after that. But something you're going to put under the tree for Christmas, David? Or are you going to try to get this done before the holidays?
Well, putting a new roof on and moving the solar around for the pool solar.
Sure.
And this is on the list.
Well, once you get
on, not going to be this year.
Okay. Once you get on the list, and I promise you this: once you get that installed, you get your salt system on, and you get your pH injector in, you will never ever have issues with your pool as far as algae, staining, discoloration. You're going to have a pool that's in balance. If you've got kids and you have pH issues in your skin, this is going to tighten it up right down in that desired range and simplify it for you, and then sure save you some operating costs on taking care of your swimming pool. But I wish you well. I really do. I really, really do. And if you have any questions after you install it and you need to get back with us, we'll be glad to walk you right through it. Be glad to do that for you.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. We only got about a minute. Maybe I'll have to go through the news. But he mentioned he had a new surface in his pool.
Yeah.
And he's got that really cool stuff you showed me down at the show.
Right.
So does that surface itself take a while to change the chemical makeup of the pool?
Sure. What's happening for the first 30 days is that pH is bouncing big time.
Wow.
Because you have in concrete, you have 7, 14, 21, 28-day cure times. So concrete's going through all kinds of reactions. Now think about this. If you have a pebble finish, we apply it today, we do a water wash on it today. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow we come out and do a pressure wash, acid wash on it, we start filling it up. Immediately, Rob, if I did a black finish pool, which we just finished one, and I didn't address that pH day one, it'll turn white. Day one.
Whoa.
So if I do it on black, and you can see it on black very well, it does it on all the other colors. That's why we do what we call hot startups. 407-282-4911. Visit us at Orlando Luxury Pools. Like us on Facebook, that's TC Water Features, where amazing things can happen in your backyard. And we got a call on the line when we come back after the break, and we're going to take care of some really cool information when we get back.
Very good, Jim. Hold on. Do not lose your line. We'll be right back, and you can join the show at 844-220-0965. That's 844-220-0965. Text Tony at 21232, 21232. We'll be right back. All right, we got a couple of calls lined up for you. Love that music. 844-220-0965. Yes, we are live. And just turn down the sound on the TV and listen to Tony. And think about that swimming pool you got back there. You got a lifestyle back there, and it can be so easy it will run itself. But right now, let's go to Jim. Jim, how can we help you, my friend?
Hey, Tony.
How you doing, Jim?
Hey, fine, thank you. I just want to thank you for coming by, and because I'm the one with that Band-Aid pull, and you didn't exaggerate. I've had 4 or 5 different companies out there telling me, well, it needs this, this, and this, but they do it, and nobody's really told me that what's really wrong with it. You came out and said, this is what's going to take it. You were straight shot with me. I just want to thank you for, at least we're going to have my swimming pool up and running.
Well, I appreciate him. Give us a couple of comments of what people have told you that needs to be done to your pool. Can you kind of remember any of those items?
Yeah, when I first bought the house, of course, it had the floor system, and everything was fine. And then I decided, well, you know what? I think I'm going to add a solar system.
Right.
So I won't mention names. They came out, and they sold me the top of the line solar system. With the water that goes down and twirls around.
Sure.
$7,000, and it didn't work. I mean, I didn't have no hot water, so it was. It seemed like it was running. The temperature wasn't warm. So I called them up, and they said, you know what? You need a new filter, because I had a DE.
Right.
You need a new filter and you need a new pump. But I'll tell you what, we'll buy the pump and you buy the filter. So we agreed on that. Well, they got done, and it's the same thing. So they came back out, and the guy says, well, you know what? You need a new impeller, because we're going to put slow down the water because it's going too fast. That didn't work.
Wow.
So then they decided, well, you know what? Maybe a heat pump's the way to go. Well, $6,500 later,
Gosh.
I've got all this stuff, and now for what it really is going to take, what you said it needed, it's like, it's a lot of money, but you know what? At least it's going to be fixed. Either that or you fill it up with dirt and plant flowers.
Well, you know what, Jim? I assure you, and I guarantee you, when I'm done with your system, you're not only going to do everything you want it to do. The heat pump will run, the solar system will run, the floor system will run, and you will save energy in the process. I guarantee it. There's no doubt. It would be like you're in the landscape business, correct? You can walk up to a job and go, boy, that's not the way we'd want to do it. That's not how we would do it. And I walked up to your pool stuff, and I said, oh, my God, this is what we can do, but I can fix this. It's not a Band-Aid. It's not a repair job. It is basically cut everything, flush over the ground, and start over. When we are done, I guarantee you one thing, it'll be a masterpiece. You'll go, oh, my God, how did you do that? We will have everything will be in exactly how it needs to go, and I will save you energy. I will make that heat pump work. I will make that solar system do its job exactly what it's supposed to do, and, again, save you money doing so.
Oh, I know that, and after, like I said, you were straight with me. You said, this is what it's going to take to fix it. I will tell you one thing, since we talked. I had gone, I guess, of course, in the industry, I'm seeing people, stuff, and I noticed one of my customers just got a pump, and I said, who put the pump in? She goes, a pool guy did. I'm like, yeah, but you took a 2-horse out, and you're putting a horse and a half, back in. Why do you do that? She goes, well, I don't know. That's what he put. And I said, oh, my God, it sounds like what I went through. And then I have another customer that just spent $53,000 on the pool. They called the company out, the pool, the people that service the pool, and he was looking at it, and he says, my God, they got 5 different pieces of equipment, and this is from a pool builder.
Wow.
So, people's got to realize, man, they really got to have somebody like you that knows what they're doing, because these people are spending $50,000-$60,000 on the pool, and it's not even working right.
Well, Jim, it goes back to this.
Good
It goes back to
Lord.
knowledge. What do you know? How long have you been doing what you're doing? I've been doing this for 35 plus years. I've learned a lot in 35 years, but I'll tell you what I went over with you on the phone yesterday, and when I went out to your job to look at it, I've known that stuff for 20 years, over 20 years. And why is because I elected to go in and involve myself and in learning the technology and learning how to allow my customers to save money. I asked you a question yesterday. Did you own or do you get dividend checks from the power company? And your answer was no.
Absolutely
That's
not.
right. That's right. So why are we going to give the power company more money every month that we need to? Let's let your pump run longer and slower, and we're going to have a healthier swimming pool. And I assure you, if you do put the Aquarite chlorine generator and the pH injector on there, your life got so easy. You'll go out there and keep the grass clean and the pool blue, guaranteed.
Oh, it's time to cut my own yard, right? All right. Well, I really want to thank you. And, I didn't realize that people, they sound like they make up stories, but that's honest to God truth. Mai was the one with the Band-Aid pull, and you said it the way it was. So
Well,
I just want to thank you, and I'll be looking forward to getting that thing taken care of. I know the wife is.
Well, give us a call. We'll be glad to take care of it for you, hopefully before Christmas. If not, I know when we do it, we'll make you proud that we did a great job for you. Have a Merry Christmas, Jim.
Yeah. I'll call you Monday. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's one of those things that just keeps you awake nights. You've had all this money. You spent good money after bad. As Larry Perry would say, they threw parts at a problem. They didn't know what they were doing. That can just frustrate your entire life. Then you meet a guy like Tony. Here, it's going to be fixed once and for all. It's going to be done. Buy the best and only cry once. Telling you right now, folks, when you going to get that?
Hey, we got a celebrity on the line.
Who is this man? He calls himself Cosmo, calling from all over the world.
Hello, Cosmo. How are you doing?
Hi, guys.
Where are you at today? Are you still in Australia?
I'm still in Australia. I'm in Melbourne. Today is a Sunday morning here, and we're doing a show tonight, first 2.
And I believe, what is it? It's 7:43 there. Is that right?
It's actually 9:43.
9:40.
We're I think
Hey,
15 hours ahead.
I like this. Cosmos, I'm going to call you tomorrow. How's that?
Is there every time Cosmos is on the air, it reminds me of MASH when Larry Linville used to come in there and he'd say to Radar, "What time is it back home?" And he said, "It's not yet."
It's not yet. Well, the reason I said where you at, I know Australia is a huge country, man. I mean, it's just a huge country. And from what I've been reading, your tour is going amazing. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's going fantastic. I mean, the reviews are great. The shows are selling out. It's just, it's the boys are back home, so it's a good homecoming for them. And we have these 2 shows left in Australia, then we go to New Zealand and do 2 shows there, and then home for Christmas, home for the holiday.
Well, that's going to put you home about the 17th. Does that put you back here in the country on the 17th?
Yeah, I get home on the 16th. It's funny. I leave the morning of the 16th from here, and I get home the evening of the 16th, and it's about a 30-hour flight. So,
oh my goodness, man!
I'm coming back, and coming back. It's funny because I get to see 2 sunsets that day on the same day.
Wow. I mean, I got a question for you, Cosmos. When your flight, you'll come directly back from New Zealand, or will you go to Hawaii before you come back?
No, my flight, it'll take me from Auckland to Sydney to Los Angeles, and then Los Angeles home.
And then how long a flight is from Auckland to Los Angeles?
From Sydney to Los Angeles is about 14 hours.
Nonstop. Wow, that's a couple of meals. And a couple of meals and a few good books, right?
Yeah, and a glass of wine. Definitely.
Do you do that on a jumbo, or do you do the 777s? What do you fly in? Is that an Airbus?
Well, it depends. I mean, it's generally a 777. In the older days, it was a 747, but it's 777 now. It's and sometimes you get on the A380s, the big double decker. The Airbuses. But it's funny. My wife is actually on the way back. She's just landing in Orlando about right now. She left about 30 hours ago.
Oh my gosh, man!
You know what's so cool about all this, though?
What's that, Rob?
So he's over there. His wife's been over there for a long time. They've been on the road for weeks, and yet, guess what is purring in his backyard without any problems? just purring right away, and we'll be ready for him to jump in it when he gets home.
Hot question for you, Cosmos.
It's a swimming pool.
Cosmos, what notifications or alarms have you gotten since you've been gone on your app, your Hayward app? Anything?
I haven't gotten anything. I mean, I'll get up and I'll make sure what time it is and the pool is running. I'll check on my app and I go to it and everything is perfect. It's amazing.
Okay.
That's so cool.
Cosmos, would you tell everybody kind of what you have? What kind of automation system do you have on your pool?
Well, it's a Hayward automation system. It keeps an eye on the pH and then the chlorine, the temperature, and I can check it. I have the app on my phone, the Hayward app, on my. I have an iPhone 6, and so I can go on there and I love the fact I can turn it on and off. The one thing is when it has to be running because that's when it's testing the water when the pump is filtering the water. So what I'll do is I go on and I'll make sure that the pH is balanced correctly, that the chlorine is where I want it to be. Which is great. And like you said, it'll tell me an alert when there's a problem. But it's between the guy that's taking care of my pool once a week and the Hayward system. It is amazing how. Like Rob just said, it's worry-free. My wife is here. No one's there but my mother-in-law, and she doesn't know. She just looks at the pool and it looks fine to her.
Sure.
But the fact that I have this system, awesome, especially being so far away.
And you have OmniLogic is what you have. So you actually have
yes, OmniLogic.
You have OmniLogic, and you have the pH sense and dispense, and then you have that 400,000 BTU gas heater. Now, I have a question for you on the Hayward 400,000 BTU gas heater. Are you happy with how it performs to heat your spa?
You told me it was going to get hot quickly, but I'm amazed at how quickly. I mean, I thought it'd take a good 30, 40 minutes, but I mean 20 minutes. My spa is boiling. I mean, it's amazing how fast it gets hot. And like I said, I'll be on the way home from the airport. Turn it on, and when I get home, bam, it's ready to go. I just put on my bathing suit.
How mad would you have been at me if I'd have sold you a 150,000 BTU heater versus a 400,000? You'd be upset at me, wouldn't you? If that spa took 75 minutes to heat versus 19, would you have been mad at me?
Wow.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't have been very happy having to wait so long because I can get home from the airport quicker than it would have heated up with 175,000 BTU.
Do you know how many of my competitors do that, by the way? They'll put that smaller heater in. You know why? That heater, that 400,000 BTU heater over that 150,000 BTU heater was worth about $500. Okay, but that 150,000 BTU heater used the same amount of fuel per hour that 400,000 BTU heater did, except that the 400,000 heated 3.5 times faster than 150,000. So you save money. Are you heating the spa when you haven't been home enough? It's been what, almost a month and a half you've been on the road?
Wow.
Yeah, I've been here almost about 5 weeks, yeah.
About 5 weeks, and when you're all said and done, it's going to be close to 2 months. Wow. That's a long. So when you leave Melbourne, you say you're heading to Auckland?
We head to Wellington from here on Wednesday. We head to Wellington and then to Auckland and then home.
So you have 3 more shows to do?
2 here and 2 in New Zealand, so 4 more.
Okay, so 4 more shows. So, wow, man. I follow you on what you do, man. I'm amazed. Where you get some of these food dishes to eat from, I'm clueless, man, because I haven't seen food like that. But everything you do looks awesome. It's amazing, Can I ask a personal question? What's the average age of AC/DC's band members? Are we in their middle 50s?
Well, no, they're all around the late 50s to the singer is 68. Angus Young is 60. They're all around. I think Stevie's around 58. So one of the guitar players, and everybody else is in their 60s. They're past 60 now.
So here's the next question. What do you think the average age of your group is? The concert goers are. You think they're in their 30s, 40s?
No, well, it's a mix. I mean, it's a lot of older people. 50s and 60s who grew up with AC/DC, but it's a lot of younger people who love AC/DC, and then it's a lot of young, kids that their parents bring because they want them to see this. They want them to experience AC/DC because they know this may be the last time they get a chance to see them.
Right. So what I'm trying to get at there is the band that you're touring with is so well loved. To draw 50,000 people consistently to a concert, what does that tell you? they've got some great rock and roll out there, and they've got a great lighting guy, and that's my great friend Cosmos. You're awesome, dude, man, because without you, the music will play, I got it, but the light is what brings the atmosphere to the show. You have to agree with me on that. That's hands down what you do is absolutely amazing. Amazing.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, it's I feel it's important, obviously, because it's my job and everything. But as a concert goer when I was a kid, the lights and stuff amazed me, and it made the show better, and that's why I really love what I do.
So did that what got you
job.
What got you into doing lighting for rock and roll bands or just bands in general? Was it the love of seeing what you did when you grew up to have it?
Well, I mean, partially. The first concert I saw was Kiss in Lakeland in 1976, and I was
there.
I was impressed about the
there.
lighting rig.
I was there.
That's funny.
Hey, we're gonna go to break. We're gonna go to break. Can you stay through the break?
Sure, I sure can.
We're gonna go to break here, and then we'll close out the show with you. 407-282-4911. Visit us at Orlando Luxury Pools. Like us on Facebook. That's TC Water Features, where amazing things can happen in your backyard.
All right, here we go. If you have a question about your pool, 844-220-0965. Cosmo over there with ACDC in Australia, and his pool is right back here in the Orlando area. It's just humming away and being perfect. All right? We'll be back right after 3 big things you need to know. Tony Caruso. Got about a minute and a half before the end of the show, and we are online with a owner of a Pool Fanatic, Orlando Luxury Pools, TC Water Features pool. This guy is just not here to use it because he's over in Australia, and he's fighting with those koala bears.
Koala bears.
I don't know. And Crocodile Dundee and all that sort of thing.
Cosmos, we only got a couple minutes, but let's go back to the question I asked you earlier. When you went to your first rock and roll show, let's say 76, you saw Kiss. I know I was there because I saw Queen there just shortly after. Did that get you involved? Did that get you in the direction where you wanted to be in this industry?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it had an influence. I mean, I think a lot of guys who are on the road with bands are what I like to call frustrated musicians. A lot of guys wanted to be in bands or played in bands, and we end up working in the business on the technical side of it. And fortunately for me, I did the technical side, then I do the artistic side. So I'm still a frustrated musician, but I get my joy out of the business by running lights, which is more artistic, like a band member would
right.
be. So
right.
That's how it came about with me, and it was through a few years of different fields in the same business, but I settled on lighting. Well, and I think a big part of that was first seeing Kiss and the lighting rig and the truss spotlight operators up in the rig, and then just just going through working in the business and enjoying all of it.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, you know what? We are already out of time. We got 20 seconds to get off the air here. Cosmos, call back in next week if you can. If not, I look forward to seeing you and hearing from you when you return back to your States here on the 17th. Have an awesome day. It's tomorrow already there. 407-282-4911. Please visit us at Orlando Luxury Pools. Like us on Facebook. That's TC Water Features, where amazing things can happen in your backyard. We'll be back next weekend to do this again. Look forward to seeing you. Have a safe and happy weekend.
Will be out of sight.